A warm welcome and good evening to Dr. Mohammad Yunus Yassin, President of Asti, Mr. Joshua Neto, President of Pmimy, Mr. Dhruv Patel, Chief Executive and Founder of Nisai Group, Ms. Nazrin Ma, Neuroeducationalist and Founder of Meaningful Activation, Dato Seri CM Vigneshwaran, Chief Executive Officer, Amper Consulting, Asti's advisors, Asti's Project Working Group Committee members, Asti's funders, supporters and well-wishers. Today's event will kickstart with the official MOU signing between Mr. Joshua Neto from Pmimy and Dr. Yunus Yassin from Asti, followed by Asti Socrates Dialogue titled Special Education in School and Neurodiversity in Workplace, Moving Towards an Inclusive and Caring Society. Now, as the first agenda of the day, we would like to commence the MOU signing between Asti and Pmimy. The MOU signing symbolizes the good relationship between Asti and Pmimy and as an initiative to introduce project management to students. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Joshua Neto from Pmimy and Dr. Yunus Yassin from Asti to officiate the MOU. Please welcome. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Joshua Neto to give his opening remarks. Let's welcome.
All right, good evening. Works this time. And welcome. Thank you to Dr. Yunus, Asti, your funders, your supporters for showing up today and also hosting us. A very modest MOU signing, but you know what? I could hardly sleep last night from the excitement, because this is something that's very close to my heart. Dr. Yunus and I have been working on this for a few months. I think we were speaking at about midnight yesterday, and you were genuinely afraid that I would call you after 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So after 2 o'clock in the morning, we're in quite creative. But this is exactly what I personally and Project Management Institute and Pmimy Malaysia chapter feel very passionate about. Yeah. Let me tell you why in a very short speech. So, what is Pmimy and Pmimy Malaysia chapter after? In our Impact Strategy 4.0, we believe in empowering people to make ideas into a reality. That's what we do. Why is that? And what do we mean by people? Right, which is the theme of, I think, today's event. Well, first of all, if you think about all the projects and all the things that we enjoy even coming here, right? Like the public transportation, the infrastructure. Several years ago, it was an idea, right? And all the projects we are going to work on in the future are ideas today in people's heads, right? Later, they become concepts, they get drawn into a plan, right? And they get, of course, executed and completed. And that's where communities, infrastructure, industries are changed because of projects. So we believe in empowering people to make their ideas into a reality. Now, this slide often shocks people because when they look at the ages at the bottom, they see, wow, you're even targeting people that are so young, and you go as far forward as people that are so old. And this is why our MOU signing today is extremely significant. But why? Why are we after teaching the basics of project management and the principles of project management to young people? Think about it. If you ask a young person, our standard question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right? And of course, a young person will tell you, like my children, tell you, I want to be a fireman or a policeman, right? And we will smile knowingly. Well, to be a policeman or a fireman is a project, right? One day, when you eventually become that fireman, you put a uniform on, your project is completed, right? But there is a way to get there, right? You have to plan your journey. You have to get the right education. You have to get the right licenses, right? You have to basically be on the right path to get where you want to be. It's the same thing with finishing your semester. It's a project, right? Completing your exam, that's a project too. So they have to learn the basics of time management, right? Their fund management, right? How to use resources that are available to them to cross a certain line, right? And that's why we believe in teaching young people the basics of project management. Yep. So, what do we mean by people? A very apt explanation which completely aligns with today's title of our MOU signing event, because really we should embrace people of all cultures, all backgrounds, all social standing, all mental and physical capabilities, and so on. And PMI is extremely passionate about this, right? So if you'd like to know more, PMI has got an educational foundation they call PMIEF. You can scan the QR code and it'll take you right to the strategy that PMIEF has developed for the future. And they have been doing this. This is not new. PMIEF has been around for 30 years, and they've been helping people learn the basics of project management and get onto that pathway to become change makers. Now, what's quite interesting is the next slide, where it talks about the goal of PMIEF. And it'll tell you why I was so excited, not only last 3 months, but last night as well. It says, our goal is to forge partnerships with the non-profit organizations that support and prepare the youth. Now, isn't that quite interesting? Yep. And that's exactly what we are doing today. So thank you for being here with us to celebrate this moment, because it completely aligns with not only what our chapter wants to do, but what PMI has in store for its community. You can also see the vision and mission, which I will leave to you guys. The QR code, you can go to the website as well and see all the background about PMIEF. But PMIEF strategy, why, what, and how? Again, if you read the narratives there, it really closely aligns with what Asti is trying to do as a non-profit organization as well, by preparing youth for education, career, community engagement, developing skills. But of course, our focus is on project management, and that is what we are very firmly going to support Asti with. Okay? So, the closest touch point in terms of PMI representation in Malaysia is our chapter. What we are doing today as well completely aligns with our strategy. We would like to be known as the champions of project management in Malaysia. Now, to be known as the champions of project management doesn't mean that we only associate ourselves with established project management professionals and the people that run all the major projects and programs that we enjoy, but also developing the people that will have the ideas which will turn into projects in the future, right? So come join us at PMI Malaysia. Of course, we are now partners, so we look forward to many, many more events and collaborations together. But that was my little short and sweet speech. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Joshua Neto, for the wonderful note. To recap from Mr. Joshua Neto's speech, PMI empowers people to make ideas a reality. Through global advocacy, networking, collaborations, research and education, PMI prepares organizations and individuals at every stage of their career journey to work smarter so that they can drive success in the world of change. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Yunus Yassin to give his speech and to officiate Asti Socrates Dialogue Series 2. Please welcome.
Hi everyone. So my name is Yunus, for those of you who do not know. I'm the president of the Association of Science, Technology and Innovation. It's a very long name. We were set up 10 years ago, but our programs have been running for the last 17 years. Interestingly enough, Asti actually started as a project, right? Science Fair for Young Children, which was run purely as a project for 7 years without any organization. So we had a project without a project owner, so to speak, right? So it is very interesting that, the universe has brought us together in that way, right? So for 7 years, we were running a project without an organization. And of course, it was untenable because the project became bigger and bigger. So that is when we decided to set up the organization and park the project under the organization, which is the Association of Science, Technology, Innovation. Again, it just goes to show that how important project management is. Two things. Number one is, of course, we started as a project. Most of the programs that we run is based on a couple of pedagogies, and one of the most important pedagogy that we do use is what's called project-based learning, right? And project-based learning, the advantage of project-based learning is, number one, it kind of lets the student, it empowers the student to learn, right? So the student or a group of learners will get together and then they come up with their own learning strategy. What is it they want to learn? So they come up with their end results and then they work towards that. So the whole idea of PBL in that sense, it allows for a lot of inclusivity, right? So students with different capabilities, different type of capabilities, right, are able to learn at their own strength and pace, right? So that's where we think project-based learning is important, right?